Now, I bet a lot of you guys know about those channels that upload those fake animated videos, I would say. I don't even know really what to call them. Anyways, they're basically videos about little made up stories that drag on for way too long and have terrible animation. It's basically just a content farm. And that really rumbles my pickles. But I recently found this video titled, "I earned a living doing this." What's this? So yeah, let's watch it. First of all, this is from My Story, another knockoff channel from Actually Happened or whatever. That's just another one of these content farms. And there's some pretty weird stuff in it, as always.
It just so happened that my mom preferred some young suitor to me and left the country, completely forgetting about her own child suffering in poverty and sadness. I never knew or heard a thing about my dad, and so my grandmother tried filling in the familial blanks and empty spaces in my life. But her miserable pension was only enough for bread and salt, and we barely made ends meet.
Just kind of, flies off for no particular reason. Yeah.
On my way home, I would stop off at a window of a modern store, where the buttons of the first mobile telephone sparkled and beeped alluringly. That was the greatest of my possible goals.
So in this age of a modern smartphone store, there's still the only currency is gold coins with one on them. I'm guessing this is pennies, but nobody would want pennies. Just get stacks and stacks of dollar bills. But I don't know, maybe that's a lot harder to draw, I guess.
I often pictured myself talking over the phone with my friends, finding myself far away from home, calling anywhere I wanted.
Wait. Hold the frame. Look at that globe. Look where his home location is. So this is set in an American place, I'm guessing, due to the pennies, how the dollar bills look, and the American voice actor. But if you look at the globe, it's actually in Russia. Russia. Now, a lot of these content farms are directly owned Russian companies, usually. So this clearly isn't a good sign. Don't really know how else to put it. It's just a Russian content farm.
I was just getting bread like any other day when suddenly a super fancy smooth black car stopped in front of me. Rolling down the window, the man at the wheel asked me, "Hey man, wanna earn some money?"
This dude rolled down the wrong window. Probably should have, rolled down the other window where the guy was. And another thing, I have never seen anyone just roll up in a car and ask for a car wash. He even talks about it later, which is dumb. But anyways.
On one hand, the alluring and hopeful song of possible earnings pulled at me, but frustration still gnawed at me for being so obviously lower class that I was instantly called out for a job like this one. In the end, I agreed.
Anyways. Okay, another weird thing. Does this dude just always carry sponge and car cleaning supplies on him? Or was this provided by the dude in the car? Which, you don't usually keep sponges and cleaning devices in a car unless you're a specific car washer, I'm pretty sure. So, I guess the sponge just appeared for plot convenience.
I was hit with an idea. It's a sign. I need to use this. The job was done and the owner seemed satisfied with it, and there was no other way it could be.
So this dude just now realized, to get this money that I need, I should probably get a job. What a smart lad. I'm glad you figured that out. You really rose above the rest here, if you think about it. Also, the way he just moves around is just so ugly. It's just unsettling, combined with the stock music and the terrible voice acting. Okay, so it just makes me mad because actual animators on this website who are actually animating are just screwed over by this stupid algorithm that just promotes Russian content farms that are owned by literally people who have no passion And this is honestly a much bigger issue than just a stupid small YouTube video that I'm making fun at right now. But it seriously is like an issue that I have an actual problem with. It's just underrepresentation from people with passion.
In the city, there was only one car wash, and it only worked during the weekdays, and the number of people wanting their car washed grew daily.
So this dude says that the car wash was only open on the weekdays. So for that to be the case, then tomorrow, which in order to not do the car wash would have to be Saturday. But on Friday, the other car wash was open. So why the heck did just some random guy pull over to some poor dude to get a car wash when he could just go to the regular car wash? Like, it literally makes no sense. If you're gonna make a bunch of crappy stories, at least have maybe plausible writing. Maybe that's too high of an expectation.
Next weekend, I managed to get 2 more helpers for my class, and work started up. Now instead of $4, we took $7 for a full-body car wash.
Bruh, this dude brought along, I'm presuming this is college. This has to be like high school or college. It's like, hey, you want to go wake up at 7 on the weekends so that we can go wash cars? That just sounds, I wouldn't do that. That's too early, honestly. It's just a lot of work for not a lot of payoff. This plot just makes no sense. This is what I'm trying to say.
And by then, I wrote down my brand new phone number everywhere with pride. Everything was going smoothly, but one time I had to test my mettle. A dark and dirty car rolled into the shop one day and caught my attention.
So they put a big emphasis on the phone at the start, and then they just gloss over it in favor of a dirty old car. Okay.
When I finished cleaning it, I came back with a check and called out the amount as always. But instead of paying the check or getting money out, the husky passenger slowly walked up to me, grabbed me by the collar, and angrily shaking me said, "I don't owe you! You owe me money for being on my land, and now you pay!" I thought briefly that paying once means I'd have to pay again, lowering our profits.
Paying once was paying again? Lowering our profit? What is he talking about here? Is he talking about like maybe returning criminals? Then you could just report to the police if that's the case. Or I don't know, but this dude's decision making clearly isn't the brightest, so yeah.
So I swiftly wormed my way out of his grasp and turned and smacked him full force in the stomach.
This action scene with the sound effect that just sounds like somebody patting their cheeks or something, like that's a full force slap to the stomach.
It's in the stomach.
You know, if somebody grabbed me by the collar, I managed to get my way out, I'm gonna, smack them in the stomach. That'll get them real good. Smack them right in their tummy.
It's in the stomach.
This is just so stupid, man. Like, who thought this was a good idea?
Not at all expecting that turn of events and seeing all my other well-built friends near me, they decided it wasn't worth it and started leaving.
If the friends were there the whole time, then why did this dude even think of grabbing him in the first place? Like, come on, man. What? Like, I know this is a stupid animated video that's literally just made to get money, but still, I'm just completely lost here. I am totally lost.
But we couldn't let them go without paying. So I went over and grabbed a shovel, and I held it above the windscreen in my hands, showing I was ready to break it any time.
Nothing says reporting criminal activity like threatening a customer by smashing their windshield. Like, don't you just hate it when somebody refuses to pay you, so you get out a shovel and then smash their windshield? I hate when that happens, man. It happens to me like almost every other Tuesday or something.
The driver gave in and cashed out, handing me the money reluctantly. I made sure the pay was double for a ruined mood.
Made him pay double for putting you in a bad mood? That sounds like a pretty crappy system if the cashier just tries to make you pay more because they're not feeling good. I got a bad score on my student test from school, college. Aw man, now give me double my pay. Like that's not how businesses work.
And now I saved the money up and reinvested it in the business.
Yeah, reinvest that whole $14 into the business. You got a really expensive pay from that one, boy. A really expensive pay.
I plan to upgrade the garage, I plan to upgrade the equipment, and get some hired help to help around even more.
This dude's got big plans with that $14. Like, come on, man. Like, a new garage, some more helpers. What else did he say? Like, some other stuff? I don't know. You can't get that with $14.
I knew it would be hard, but I believed in myself and I had a goal to strive towards.
I can't even say anything. There's nothing that I can say. This is just so completely implausible. Well, of course you knew it was going to be hard. It's $14. I know I'm sticking to that point so much, but it's like, it's $14. You're fantasizing about $14.
And sure enough, I was right. Today, I own a car wash in the city, another in the suburbs, and 2 more in the most nearby settled areas.
So this dude's telling me he washed cars like a couple weekends in a row, and that was enough money to start a store, which eventually turned into a whole franchise in his area. I'm not sure that's how business works, my friend. That's not how capitalism works. You gotta have a lot more money than just a couple weekends worth.
Now alongside my family, I never give up on my dreams.
Which side is the driver's side? Because you've had 2 times where it's the right side, which would make sense if it's not in America, but now he's just driving on the left. So, but he's staying in the same area basically. So I am overcomplicating crappily drawn cars in a children's animated YouTube video that is made for brainless entertainment. Really am wasting my life here, huh?
Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed watching, press the subscribe button, and hit the bell notification icon. Do you want your story told? Write to us at the email shown below.
Great. They make the voice actor record an end screen that's honestly just really bland, but the best part about this end screen is how I have to blur out the thumbnails because it's more clickbait and it's explicit and involves some stuff that I'm not allowed to say. Anyways, now that you've seen my thoughts on the video, I'm just gonna kind of explain more of my side of the story, I guess, on these content farms. And I honestly I hate them. They're basically another form of the DIY craze that is still very big. There's a genre on YouTube that gets big, and then somebody finds out how to make it cheap and exploitable and turns it into a content farm. And then all of these other people just keep going on, and then they get super popular. Like, you would think that video came from a channel that is obviously not very big because they have low budget animation, and overall it's just not good. And you look at the subscriber count and they got 150,000. Like, are you serious? I can't tell if they're using bots or if people are just like that unintelligent with their choices for what they're watching. And I know that a lot of children watch these channels because that's the reason why COPPA is such a big deal now again. But it's still just so infuriating to see people with the passion having to quit YouTube and then go on to other things because they are losing money to these channels that are basically exploiting the system that YouTube has put in place. And I know I'm not really the person to speak on this. I don't have a job as a YouTuber right now. I mainly just do it as a hobby, but it's still a very big issue affecting a lot of people and it needs to be addressed. And yeah, that's just my thoughts on just overall content farming on YouTube. I plan to do a little bit more of these kind of videos, talking about just things I found on the internet that just annoy me. I am working on a couple of other really big projects, so I hope you will find those entertaining when I get around to working on those. And yeah, I'm Astro. I'll see you guys in the next video, and goodbye.